Good afternoon to my Live with Tony audience. We are now looking at March 14th, a Monday evening, and another weekend has flown by. And last night we had some friends over looking at the NCAA basketball brackets, and we got to see where our team Providence is in the brackets and where they're playing. And off we go. Though it was weird to me to see some teams that were in the East bracket are playing in Oregon. And I'm trying to figure, does somebody need to get a map, or how do we get teams that are in the Eastern bracket playing in the West, and some teams playing in the West that are playing on the East? And I'm wondering if we need to go back to teaching people geography. But in the middle of all that, had a Monday session with people that are being diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment, and I continue to walk away from those sessions and wonder, there's no way these people have mild cognitive impairment. Their mental acuity is amazing. Their history lessons of what they've done in their life is a history book. And just talking to them and getting to meet them now on a one-on-one basis, and the stories that they tell are just amazing. And so I got the chance to talk to a nursing director of a nursing home today who just gave me all of her experiences and what she had to go through and what it was like being in a nursing home and the challenges and the staffing and the people and the caring and the love for taking care of people and the commitment that she had to doing that work. Got to talk to another commander from the Navy who became a dentist and retired from his dentistry. You just listen to the backgrounds of these people and their life stories. It's just mind-boggling in terms of who they are and what they're about. And here they are attending a brain fitness workshop. And in the brain fitness workshop today, it shows up so clearly. We talked about social interaction, the importance of social activity, as we are hardwired as humans to really, really want to be able to interact with other people. And that, whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, it doesn't matter. We have this innate built-in anatomy that basically says to us, it's important for us to socialize. It's important for us to have, whether it's 3 or 4 friends or 10 or 15, it's crucial for us to know that we exist with a purpose and that interacting with other people is important to us. So I was reading an article over the weekend, and I gave this suggestion to the team today. It's important for us to have general activity. General activity means that we want to educate people in the next generation. So one of the social activities that I suggested to these folks today, with the knowledge and the skills and experiences they've had, wouldn't it be great if they could find a Boy Scout group or a Girl Scout or some group of school students and teach them something about their life experiences, be it chemical engineering, physical, mechanical engineering, civil engineering, the gifts that these people have when they start to talk about their experiences are just endless. And they get all bubbly. You can actually see the difference in the way they communicate and the smiles and the energy that they bring into the room just by their own discussing their life experiences. We got into a hunting conversation today, and there was one of the gentlemen in the room talking about his hunting and going up the mountains and what it was like, when he was out doing some of these tours and treks. And he was in Africa almost 40 times, and somebody wants to go to Africa for their bucket list. And so it was amazing to have him describe what it was like in different places of Africa and what he did. And you could just see the dialogue and the social interaction just bubble up. And an article I was reading over the weekend talked about the importance of a positive social interaction lasts for 4 or 5 days. It just uplifts us. It just gives us ability innately to just feel good. And as some of them described today, the workshop they're in, they love Monday because it's the first day of the week, but they get to come to the workshop and they get to meet their new friends and they get to do some structured things and they get to do some things other than just sitting around and watching TV. And then we get to Friday and they're like, my God, we'd love to have more of these. And is this going to go on forever? This has been like the best thing that's happened to us. And so you sit and listen to them and realize loneliness and isolation in some cases began to set in. And this is an alternative to that, where they get to use their brain, they get to interact with other people, they get to learn some things about cognitive function and health, and what a difference it's making to these people. And all they were worried about is there no, we don't want there to be an ending to this brain fitness class. And so when you talk about brain fitness, there are some things that I think that we can work into the curriculum and work into the agenda that will perfectly fit where these people are at and where they would love to learn and grow. And that's the important thing that I could say. They all want to learn and grow. And so they're very hungry. Teach me something new, teach me something I've never ever learned before, because I want to learn. And that to me is just fantastic. And these are people in their 80s. And they want to learn. They want to be taught. They're like little sponges. And they absorb these things, and then they get to talking to one another, and they make some jokes, and they have some laughing. And it's just like, it's like chemistry in the room that enlightens them to the point where when they get there on Monday, they're just bubbly. They're just so excited to be in the group. And they're like, you know, can we not expand this to a third day? And the answer is no. We have 2 days, Monday and Friday. And so they look forward to Monday as the weekend comes about, and they are sad a bit on Friday because they have to wait through the weekend for it to come back. But in any case, the point we made today is how crucial this has been to them in meeting new friends. As one gentleman said, you know, I'm in my 90s and all my friends have passed and they've died, and I'm still living and I have no one. But this class is giving me an opportunity to make new friends. So I gave them the suggestion in terms of making new friends. How about finding a school group or at the YMCA or at the community center where kids are playing, that we have classes where you can get to teach them some of your life experiences and some of the things that you've done that you found, you know, rewarding, and lessons that you learned and skills that you built. And it brought me back to a piece of work I did with Boy Scouts in a church. I was up in Hackensack, New Jersey, and I found a Boy Scout troop that was interested in some of the work that I was doing. And I found a church with a group of senior citizens. And what we did was we paired the senior citizens up with some of the kids in the troops based on their interests. So fishing, hunting, piloting. So, and we found a senior that was good at fishing or hunting or piloting or whatever the skills were, writing, editing, being a media host, with the kids that had those interests. And then we had them teach and meet in groups and had the senior do some teaching of that. So it was this weekend I read this article on generational activity, where older people drop down to the next generation coming up and teach them something as a vibrant power of human life and human expectancy. So me teaching people of any age something that I've learned through my years of studying human mind and memory gives me a great level of satisfaction that I'm passing this knowledge on to a future generation. So again, I go to these Monday and Friday sessions with a great amount of energy, enthusiasm, and just learning. I'm like a sponge listening to these people and just so respecting what they've done in their lives that have made such a difference to their families, to their grandkids, that I can't say enough. I look forward to being a part of these classes. That is my message for you this evening, and we'll be back on Wednesday. So have a good week. We're off and running, and we'll see you then.